Welcome, tool lovers, to Seraphim Serbia's channel. Today we're talking about cranes, the lifeline of construction sites. Now, I've seen my fair share of hardworking tools and equipment in my day, and let me tell you, cranes, they're the unsung heroes of heavy lifting. Without them, half the skylines in the world wouldn't even exist. But these big boys come with big responsibilities. Operating a crane isn't just about brute strength, it's about precision, awareness, and safety. That's why we're going to dive into 3 essential tips and 1 powerful hack to operate them safely and efficiently. Because nobody wants to see a dropped load or, God forbid, a crane taking a tumble. So, buckle up, let's get our hard hats on and get to work. First things first, we gotta talk about daily inspections. You wouldn't hop into a beat-up old truck and hit the gas without checking the brakes and tires, would you? Same goes for a crane. This ain't a suggestion, folks, this is non-negotiable. Every single day, before that crane even thinks about lifting a pound, you need to give it a good once-over. Start with the hoist. That's the muscle that does the heavy lifting. Check those cables for any fraying, kinks, or wear and tear. Then move on to the boom. That's the arm of the crane. Make sure it's structurally sound, no bending or cracks. And don't forget about those safety mechanisms. The limit switches, the brakes, the emergency stops. These are your last line of defense if something goes wrong. Trust me, a little preventative maintenance goes a long way. A few minutes spent inspecting can prevent hours of downtime, costly repairs, or worse, a catastrophic accident. All right, now that your crane's gotten a clean bill of health, let's talk about load securing. Remember that scene in Ghost with Patrick Swayze at the pottery wheel? Beautiful, right? Now imagine that lump of clay swinging from 100 feet in the air. Not so romantic, huh? Point is, securing that load properly is just as important as operating the crane itself. First off, double-check those connections. Are the slings, shackles, and hooks in good condition? Are they rated for the weight you're about to lift? Don't just assume. Check the manufacturer's recommendations and make sure everything is up to snuff. And for the love of all that is holy, balance your load. An unbalanced lift is like a wobbly shopping cart. It's harder to control and more likely to tip over. And when you're talking about tons of steel swinging around, that's a recipe for disaster. Take your time, get it right, and everyone goes home safe. Next up, let's talk communication. Now, I know what you're thinking, Mike. This is a construction site, not a tea party. And you're right, but that doesn't mean we can't communicate like civilized folks. Look, the crane operator is the eyes in the sky, but they can't be everywhere at once. They rely on their ground crew to guide them, to let them know where the load is, where it's going, and if anything's in the way. That's why clear communication is absolutely crucial. Use standard hand signals. Everyone on the site should know what they mean. And if you're dealing with long distances or noisy environments, invest in a reliable radio system. Don't rely on yelling or hand-waving. Miscommunication is a recipe for disaster, and when it comes to cranes, disaster usually means something got dropped, someone got hurt, or both. So speak up, listen up, and let's keep those lines of communication open. Alright folks, here's the hack you've been waiting for. Let's talk about weather vane mode. This little trick is like giving your crane a brain when it comes to dealing with Mother Nature. You see, when a crane's not in use, that big old boom can act like a giant sail in the wind. And if the wind gets strong enough, well, let's just say it can turn your crane into a very expensive kite. That's where weather vane mode comes in. It allows the boom to rotate freely with the wind, reducing resistance and minimizing stress on the crane's structure. It's like letting the wind push the boom around instead of fighting against it. This is especially important during storms or high winds. By using weather vane mode, you're essentially outsmarting Mother Nature and protecting your investment. So the next time you're clocking out for the day, remember to engage that weather vane mode. Your crane will thank you for it. That's it for today's crane tips and tricks. Remember folks, operating a crane is a serious business. It's about respect for the machine, respect for your team, and most importantly, respect for your own safety. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and never stop learning, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that everyone goes home safe and sound. Keep those cranes moving, keep those projects on track, and keep building the world, one lift at a time. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more tool and machinery insights. We'll catch you on the next one.